How's it going, everyone? This next poem is To the Spring, or Of the Fables of the Ancients by Giacomo Leopardi. I hope that's how you say the name. So let's get into it. There's no information that I can see on this poem or the author. I'm sure it's out there. I just don't do research. So here it is. Now that the sun the faded charms of heaven again restores, and gentle zephyr the sick air revives, and the dark shadows of the clouds are put to flight, and birds their naked breasts confide unto the wind, and the soft flight with new desire of love, and with new hope the conscious beasts in the deep woods, amid the melting frost inspires, may not to you, poor human souls, weary and overborne with grief, the happy age return, which misery and truth's dark torch before its time consumed? Have not the golden rays of Phoebus vanished from your gaze forever? Say, O gentle spring, canst thou this icy heart inspire and melt, that in the bloom of youth the frost of age hath felt? O holy nature, art thou still alive, and does the unaccustomed ear of thy maternal voice the accents hear? Of white nymphs once the streams were the abode, and in the clear fonts mirrored were their forms. Mysterious dances of immortal feet, the mountain tops and lofty forests shook. To-day, the lonely mansions of the winds, and when the shepherd boy the noontide shade would seek, or bring his thirsty lambs onto the flowery margin of the stream, along the banks the clear song would hear, and pipe of rustic fawns would see the waters move, and stand amazed when, hidden from the view, the quiver-bearing goddess would descend into the genial waves, and from her snow-white arms efface the dust and blood of the exciting chase. The flowers, the herbs once lived, the groves with life were filled, soft airs and clouds, and every shining light were with the human race in sympathy, when thee, fair star of Venus, o'er the hills and dales, the traveler in the lonely night, pursuing with his earnest gaze, the sweet companion of his path, the loving friend of mortals deemed, when he, who fleeing from the impious strife of cities filled with mutiny and shame, in depths of woods remote, the rough trees clasping to his breast, the vital flame seemed in their veins to feel, the breathing leaves of Daphne or of Phyllis, sad, and seemed the sister's tears to see, still shed for him who, smitten by lightning blasts, into the swift Eridanus was cast. Nor were ye deaf, ye rigid rocks, to human sorrow's plaintive tones, while in your dark recess echo dwelt, no idle plaything of the winds, but spirit sad of hapless nymph, whom unrequited love and cruel fate of her soft limbs deprived, she o'er the grots, the naked rocks, and mansions desolate, onto the depth of all-embracing air, our sorrows, not to her unknown, are broken, loud laments conveyed, and thou, if fame belie thee not, didst sound the depths of human woe. Sweet bird, that comest to the leafy grove, the new-born spring to greet, and when the fields are hushed in sleep, to chant into the dark and silent air the ancient wrongs and cruel treachery that stirred the pity of the gods to see, but know thy race is not akin to ours. No sorrow framed thy melodies, thy voice of crime unconscious pleases less. Along the dusky valley heard, ah, since the mansions of Olympus all are desolate and without guide, the bolt that wandering o'er the cloud-capped mountain tops, in horror cold dissolves alike the guilty and the innocent. Since this, our earthly home, a stranger to her children has become, and brings them up to misery. Lend thou an ear, dear nature, to the woes and wretched fate of mortals, and revive the ancient spark within my breast. If thou indeed dost live, if aught there is in heaven, or on the sunlit earth, or in the bosom of the sea, that pities, no, but sees our misery. The end. Okay, so if after you've heard or read this poem, you're completely lost and have no idea what you just read, you're not alone, because that's how I feel right now. It kind of sounds to me like this guy sat under a tree and just started writing down everything he saw and thought. That's kind of like how I feel after reading this poem. I'm very disappointed in this poem. Now, I'm not very disappointed, but very disappointed in myself for not understanding this poem. It's probably a better statement. Let me know what you guys think, or if you have any idea what poem is about. You can hit me up, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Reddit, YouTube, Instagram. And if you like podcasts, we're on iTunes, Spotify, TuneIn, and Google Play. If I'm not on your preferred podcast, let me know so I can try to get on there. Don't forget to subscribe, everybody. Goodbye.